What's up guys, Boogie the Trainer. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. So today guys, I'm gonna give you tips, meal plan tips and workout tips for fat loss for people who work overnight. So guys, I used to work overnight and I know how annoying it is because you probably even get less sleep than most people. Okay, how annoying it is to figure out when to eat, what to eat, okay, when to work out, when to sleep, because sleeping gets, very tough and weird because the time you're supposed to sleep, you go to work. As everyone is sleeping, you're working. As everyone is working and doing things, you are trying to sleep with a noise and everything. Usually for me, I struggled to sleep during the day after working overnight. Okay, but these are the things I figured out when it comes to meal plan, when I was trying to lose fat when I was working overnight, but also how to work out and just to schedule my fitness lifestyle around working overnight. Okay, so number one guys, you're gonna have to make a plan. I know, but the old saying goes, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. Okay, remember, as an overnight worker, you are literally doing the opposite of what nature and your body is meant to do, really, because the body is weird. It knows when you're supposed to be awake and it knows when you're supposed to be sleeping. Believe you me, if you research, you will find that they say around 10 to 11 p.m. in the night, the body starts to produce chemicals that help you to sleep at night. Okay, so by the time you're supposed to be sleeping, you are going to work. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about people who usually go to work from maybe, let's say, from anywhere from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning, and then they have to go home to sleep or do whatever they want to do, and then sleep during the day 6 to 8 hours and then go to work again in the evening or in the night, right? So because your body is doing exactly the opposite, because for people who remember a day has 24 hours. So for the people who work during the day and sleep at night, let's say somebody wakes up at 7, okay, and they sleep at 11. That's almost 15 hours of work and doing whatever. And for me, I found that most people eat every 3 hours. Okay, maybe 2.5 if they're not eating the right foods. But if you eat the right foods, you're going to be hungry every 3 hours. If you're having a good portion meal, nothing crazy to eat, like you're never gonna eat again, right? So usually, because somebody is awake 15 hours in a day out of 24 hours and they sleep 8, okay, which is 24 hours, 15 plus 8, right? 15 hours divided by 3 is going to give you 5 meals. So those are 5 different meals. 5 different meals a human being who's awake 15 hours and sleeps 8 hours is probably going to have. Maybe sometimes you can even have 1 or 2 more snacks. So 5 good meals and 2 extra snacks. Okay, so as somebody who works overnight, you're gonna have to put that in mind. Like I said, you're gonna have to plan especially for the days you work overnight, because you're doing the opposite. You are awake almost 15 hours, okay, and sleeping maybe 6 to 8 hours during the day, and awake 15 hours all night working. Okay, now guys, our most of the fat loss that happens in our bodies actually happens when we are sleeping, not even during the day. Okay, during the day, all you gotta do is work out, eat right, and then during the night, when you are sleeping, then the body decides to do the work of adding the 2 and 2 together of what you did, what damage you did during the day, or what good things you did, and then you wake up and you're a little bit lighter, a little bit less fat, right? That's weird, but most of the fat loss happens during the night time, which is the time the body is repairing our body, our joints, our muscles, using up the glycogen, subtracting this and that. Whatever you did damage, whatever good things you did shows up when you are sleeping at night. So because you work overnight, make a plan of what time you are awake. Let's say you get home at 7 a.m. and you sleep. You're gonna have to figure out the hours you don't eat during the day. You're gonna have to make sure you don't eat, which means those are hours you should be resting during the day because you have work at night. But I know it's very hard to sleep 8 hours during the day because your body isn't used to it. So for me, I used to sleep like maybe 5 hours. At best, I used to sleep like 6 hours at most because the body just doesn't, for me, it never used to really work for me. I used to struggle sleeping during the day when I was working at night. Okay, so we're gonna make sure that those 5, 6 hours you're not eating, you're sleeping. Okay, because remember, like every other human, they have the 8 hours they sleep where they're not eating nothing. Okay, so you're sleeping 6 hours. Okay, add an hour for working out. So now working out again is going to be according to your plan. You can plan to, I used to work out sometimes right in the morning after, especially if it was just a cardio day. I used to do my cardio right after I leave work in the morning before I got home to sleep. And if it was lifting, I used to wake up in the evening or whatever time I wake up during the day, have a simple meal, and then go work out, and then come back, have another nap before my overnight shift. So you're gonna have to figure out, usually for me it was before work when I wake up during the day, or after work, usually for cardio before I go home to sleep. So you're gonna have to make a plan and figure out what time works for you best to work out. Because at the end of the day, this is not just about the food. You're also gonna have to figure out when you have to work out as an overnight shift worker. Okay, so after we have figured out that you're gonna have to sleep for the 6 hours maybe, and then work out for an hour or and a half. That's almost 7, and everything you do. So those are 8 hours or 8 hours you're not really gonna be eating nothing. So most of your eating is gonna be in the night towards your work time and throughout the night. Because if you decide to eat, because you're gonna be hungry, you're gonna be using energy, burning calories when you're working. So if you decide to eat when you're awake or the time you should be sleeping, which the normal human being doesn't do when they're sleeping, and then when the time you're working, that's why people who work overnight usually gain more weight on average compared to the people who don't work overnight, because you eat more calories because you're more awake than the person who sleeps during the night. Okay, you're awake more hours than the person who sleeps during the night. Okay, so it's gonna have to be up to you to make sure that you figure out a good 8 hours you don't eat. Okay, you're gonna have to figure that out, especially the time you should be sleeping. And then when you have your meals ready, which is the next point, after you make all these plans, make sure your meals are ready every single day so you don't make any mistakes. So if your healthy meals are ready for you when you're going to work, you have all your 5 meals you have during work time and maybe all your snacks, you carry them with you to your workplace. Okay, and make sure you don't make any mistakes. Or maybe I forgot to bring my meals, now I gotta eat junk. No, stick to the plan. Okay, and one thing that worked for me, the first couple meals when I go to work, maybe the first 2 were all protein and vegetables, no carbs like rice or potatoes and all those things, because that way it helped me really stick to a caloric deficit. Okay, so the first 2 meals were usually low carbs for me, and then the other meals I would add carbs. Okay, but that just only helped me to stick to a low calorie or caloric deficit meals. So again, plan all your meals ahead of time, usually 5 to 6 meals. You can have 5 normal meals and 2 or 1 snack. Okay, figure out what time you're going to be sleeping 8 hours or doing something where you're not going to be eating, so you don't overeat. Okay, because like I said, you're doing the opposite of what other normal human beings who sleep at night and work during the day do. But remember, those human beings who sleep at night should be sleeping 8 hours. Those are 8 hours where they don't eat nothing, and then they eat something within 15 hours. So you do the math. Okay, 15 hours where you're going to be eating 5 to 6 meals including snacks, okay, and then 8 hours during the day where you should be sleeping or working out, doing something where you're not eating. That way you can, really stick to your diet, to a healthy fat loss diet, stick to your fitness goals even if you're working overnight, okay? And you may even get in a better shape than a person who sleeps at night and has enough time during the day to do whatever they want to do. So also remember to work out either before your work or in the morning after your work, whatever works for you. And also aim to sleep more. I know it's hard, but for me, I used to come back home, sleep for a few hours, whatever I can, go work out. Now because I work out, which is another thing that will help you sleep better when you work out, I go work out for an hour or two, come back home, now I'm tired, then I would sleep again to try and get those at least 6 hours of sleep. Because like I said, guys, the time you are really, the body helps you lose fat is when you're sleeping, believe it or not. It's when you're sleeping. It's more like a fasted, the body is helping you recover and all those things. There's so much science that goes into it, but that's why they say you gotta sleep if you're trying to really lose fat. So I know I said a lot, but I hope this video really makes it easy for you, helps you in some way, okay? Make a meal plan, make a plan, have your meals ready, know when you're going to work out, know the 8 hours you won't be eating, have your 5 to 6 meals with snacks ready when you're going to be eating during the night time. The first 1 or 2 meals can be low carbs, so you stick to a caloric deficit. Drink more water. That's the last thing. I'm sorry, I forgot that. Drink more water during the night, because usually people are awake during the day who have normal work schedules. Drink water during the day, but because during the day you are sleeping, you should drink most of your water during the night, okay? So don't forget that. All right, so I hope this helps you. If you have any more questions, comment down below and I'll answer them. Like, subscribe. Peace.